This is another reason why sometimes I just can't listen to like IndieWire and Variety and stuff because, or even like film festivals. There's a film that I got to watch last night called Predators. It's out on Paramount Plus, and it is a documentary film that goes into the story behind the very famous show in the early 2000s called To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. And it was an NBC Dateline show. And it was very, very popular and went on for several seasons where they were tracking down with these decoys men that were coming to solicit to underage and to children, and it's really sick. It's the whole concept of it is disgusting and sick. But even when I was watching this show, I realized how American culture is really settled into exploiting these sorts of situations for entertainment, and that's really what this was. This documentary film had me really pissed off a lot of times, and I don't want to get too much into that because I'm still in my feelings today. I watched it last night. But I want to say specifically about the filmmaking itself. Immediately, we are not told that the documentary filmmaker has like an experience of his own, in a sense, that he then reveals later. And I don't mind documentary filmmakers that are taking a story that they have experienced and then creating a documentary film around it. But you're not given that until like midway through this documentary film, where then I was like, really, dude? So I was annoyed by that. I know I probably shouldn't be, but it annoyed me because I then was thinking to myself, how subjective can you really be in telling this story? Because if I knew beforehand, I would sort of know the direction you're going to take. And I think he was trying to not do that, but I think it was underwhelming. Now, Chris Hansen's in this as well, and he's got a whole network now where this is all he does, and he's continuing to do this. And then it also goes into, the men that this happened to, and it has this psychologist that talks about empathy and how us as a culture, we have none. I don't think these, I don't think most of these guys have room for empathy with someone like me, specifically with survivors in general of any type of abuse. It's hard. It's, no, we ain't getting it from me today, dude. But I do think that doing something like this on a platform like this is problematic. And there are also these, ninja style people that are out there that are doing this just for clicks. And there's this one girl specifically that they have in this documentary film where she's a decoy. First of all, every single time somebody meets her when they arrive, they're like, "You're not 14 or 15 years old." I mean, the girl looks like she's in her mid 30s. Now, she's doing this out of pain. And I don't know if that's the best way that she should be coping with her own pain and trauma. So that's that. I just don't see any good coming out of that for someone like her. And then these people that are doing it now just for clicks and just for their YouTubes, it's kind of gross. It's really really gross. And then you have to wonder, you know, are a lot of these men that are doing this, would they even technically have an opportunity if it wasn't for a decoy to say come meet me? Like, are these, is this, and then finally, this hasn't done anything to help the situation. And I think that that's the bigger conversation. I'd like to see a documentary film about that, about what local police forces and FBI and people like that, what are they really doing to combat this? It's sad. It's very sick. Now, Chris Hansen does talk about why he did this and why he feels it importance, the importance of doing something like this. And he does go back to some of his old news stuff and when he was in, I believe, Thailand or Vietnam or somewhere like that, where there was this, Americans coming and meeting young girls. It's really, it's very disturbing. I don't, I have mixed feelings about all of this, which I think you're left with that. I can't imagine anyone walking away from this documentary not having mixed feelings about the whole thing and wondering why or what. But I don't feel that this was a great documentary film. I really just felt like it was, there was no really cohesion to anything. It was kind of all over the place too. So when I'm seeing like the varieties and the indie wires talking, I'm like, I don't know what they watch, but when you see a documentary film that has things put together really well for you and it's delivered to where it's are feeling that you can understand things in a way. There's none of that here. You're really left to be like, okay, and now what? So I'm not even rating this. I mean, go watch it. It's definitely worth a watch. Go watch it just so that you know what's going on in the world. But other than that, I'm giving it a thumbs down.